Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to Kim Perfect TV, and I use the pronouns she, her, and hers. And I'm going to start doing that because it's something I recommend that everybody do. It opens the door for somebody to acknowledge that they use a pronoun that you might not have thought they were using. Today we're going to talk about terms to avoid. So we're still in the Language Matters series. And this one is actually one of the very first requests I got. And so this goes out to Molly. Hey, Molly. And let's see how this goes. First, I'll say the term to avoid. Then I'll say the terms that you should use instead, and then the rationale. So our first word to avoid is, except for when talking legally, is homosexual. And here's why. Avoid homosexual as a noun or an adjective, or gay as in a noun, as in he is a gay. The preferred is to say gay as an adjective, like gay man or lesbian or gay person or people. Gay is an adjective, not a noun. It is sometimes used as a shorthand term encompassing gay, lesbian, bisexual orientations, though not transgender people or gender identity. Also, as I've mentioned before, many lesbians may identify as gay, but the term lesbian or lesbians is clearer when talking only about a woman or women. Anti-gay activists often use the words like homosexual to stigmatize people, gay people, by reducing their lives to purely sexual terms. Another term to avoid is homosexuality or lesbianism. So let's talk about why. Preference is to use being gay. And that's talking about a person's homosexuality can, in some cases, reduce the life of that person to purely sexual terms. Talk about being gay instead. The term lesbianism is considered pejorative. Also to avoid: sexual preference, gay lifestyle, homosexual lifestyle, same-sex attraction, and sexual identity. Here's why. So the preference is to say sexual orientation or just orientation. The term sexual preference is used by anti-gay activists to suggest that being gay is a choice and therefore can be changed or cured. Similarly, the term gay lifestyle is used to stigmatize gay people and suggest that their lives should be viewed only through a sexual lens. Just as one would not talk about a straight lifestyle, one shouldn't talk about a gay lifestyle. So a few more words to avoid: admitted homosexual, avowed homosexual, admitted he was gay. Here's why. The preference is openly lesbian, openly gay, openly bisexual, or simply out. The term admitted suggests prior deception, or that being gay is shameful. A couple other words to avoid: the gay agenda or homosexual agenda, and here's why. So it is preferred to use accurate descriptions of the issues. For example, inclusion in non-discrimination and hate crimes laws, or ending the ban on transgender service members. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people are motivated by the same hopes, concerns, and desires of other everyday Americans. They seek to be able to earn a living, be safe in their communities, serve their country, and take care of the ones they love. Their commitment to equality is one they share with many allies and advocates who are not LGBT. Notions of so-called homosexual agenda are rhetorical inventions of anti-gay activists seeking to create a climate of fear by portraying the pursuit of equal opportunity for LGBTQ people as sinister. Also to avoid: transgendered, atransgender, transgenders, transvestite, or tranny. Now, I understand that there are some folks who use those terms to describe themselves, and that's entirely up to them, especially depending on their age and on their familiarity with the LGBT community itself. Now, here's why we should avoid those. So the preference is to use transgender or transgender people or a transgender person. Notice it's being used as an adjective. Be careful not to call someone a transgender. Do not add an unnecessary ed to the term transgender so that it would come out transgendered, which connotes a condition of some kind. Never use the term transvestite to describe a transgender person, again, unless they happen to use the term themselves to describe themselves. And I know a few people who do. The shorthand trans is often used within the LGBTQ community, but may not be understood by a general audience. What else should we avoid? Sex change operation, preoperative, postoperative, pre-op, or post-op. And yes, I wear glasses, and today I need them. So why? The preferred is to talk about transition. Transition is the accurate term that does not fixate on surgeries, which many transgender people do not or cannot undergo. Terms like pre-op or post-op unnecessarily fixate on a person's anatomy and should be avoided. What surgeries a person has or hasn't had is none of our business. Other words to avoid: special rights, civil rights, and gay rights. You might say, really? Yes, and here's why. So the preference is fairness and equality or equal protection. So anti-gay activists frequently characterize equal protection of the law for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people as special rights to incite opposition to such things as relationship recognition and inclusive non-discrimination laws. Additionally, rights language is generally unpersuasive with most audiences, and civil rights comparisons can be especially alienating to African Americans. Other things to avoid: hate, haters, hatred, bigots, bigotry, and prejudice. I know some of you are like, what? Here's why. We prefer intolerance, rejection, exclusion, unfairness, and hurtfulness. Avoid highly charged argumentative terms like hate and bigotry, which are likely to alienate people. Instead, use language that is measured and relatable to create empathy and a sense of how rejecting attitudes and actions hurt LGBTQ people. Also, the preference is to use anti-gay activists or far-right activists. Avoid language that unfairly paints an entire religious tradition or denomination as being anti-gay or extremist. I'd like to thank today the Movement Advancement Project and GLAAD, that's GLAAD, and Equality Ohio for their help with these terms and definitions and recommendations. I will link all of their websites below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe using the little red button below. Have a good day, equals. See you later.